Hello students, welcome back to the next session of the chapter life processes. So in the last session we had discussed about respiration process. So in our today's session we are going to learn about the types of respiration. So respiration, as I said in the last class, it's a process of breaking down the food to produce energy, right? So food has to be broken down to produce energy. So in most of the animals, I said you, they need oxygen. For breaking down the food, they require oxygen. They use up oxygen to produce energy. But whereas in some cases, the animals does not use oxygen. So based on that, we can classify respiration into two types, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So what is aerobic respiration? As the name suggests, it's a respiration wherein it uses oxygen, it uses air or oxygen. So respiration which uses oxygen can be called as aerobic respiration. So this kind of respiration happens in every kind of cells. So all the cells, there will be aerobic respiration happening. In all the animals as well as in plants, you can find aerobic respiration wherein they use oxygen. Another kind of respiration is anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is it's a kind of respiration wherein it does not involve the oxygen. It does not uses oxygen. So respiration which does not use oxygen is called as anaerobic respiration. So wherein they don't use oxygen to break down the food to produce energy. So now let us learn the aerobic and anaerobic respiration in detail. So aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration happens, the actual site of respiration, aerobic respiration, is mitochondria. So you know the cell, the structure of a cell which you learned in your 8th standard. The cell is made up of three main components: cell membrane, cytoplasm and the nucleus, right? So within the cytoplasm we can find different kind of organelles, cell organelles. In that, one of the cell organelle is mitochondria. So as you learned in the 8th standard, mitochondria is called as powerhouse of cell, right? If you can recall, mitochondria is known as powerhouse of cell. So why it's called as powerhouse of cell? Because it is a cell organelle which produce energy, right? The cell organelle where the energy is produced is in mitochondria. So by that you can understand that aerobic respiration happens in mitochondria of the cell. So one of the cell organelle called as mitochondria. Actually the complete process is not happening in mitochondria. So during respiration, aerobic respiration or anaerobic respiration, it is having two steps. So in the first step, what happens is glucose, you know, the food which we are absorbed now in our body is glucose, right? So animal body is having glucose. That glucose has to be broken down to produce energy now. So in the first step, what happens is glucose is broken down into an intermediate compound called as pyruvate. Now glucose is a 6 carbon compound, right? How do you write glucose? Is C6H12O6. So that means you can understand glucose is an 6 carbon compound. So that glucose is broken down into pyruvate in the first step. So this happens where? This happens in the cytoplasm of the cell. So this process wherein glucose has been broken down, breaking down of glucose. So it's called as lysis of glucose. So it's called as glycolysis. So this step is known as glycolysis because here what is happening is glucose has been broken down. Lysis of glucose is happening. So this process is known as glycolysis. So what is the product you are getting? It's called as pyruvate. Pyruvate is a 3 carbon compound. This is made up of 3 carbon, whereas you know glucose is a 6 carbon compound. So you are getting from one molecule of glucose, you are getting, it is breaking down into 2 molecules of pyruvate. 2 molecules of 3 carbon compound you are getting in the first step. So this step is called as glycolysis, and where it happens in cytoplasm. The next step, that is wherein the oxygen is actually used up. So here in the first step, oxygen is not used up. For breaking down glucose into pyruvate, there is no use of oxygen. Oxygen use up happens here. That is when the pyruvate is further broken down to get the final product of respiration, that is carbon dioxide and water. So there actual use of oxygen happens. So wherein oxygen has been used up. So this happens in the mitochondria. So breaking down of pyruvate into carbon dioxide and water. The final product you get after aerobic respiration is carbon dioxide and water. Along with that, there will be plenty of energy also released. So here breaking down of pyruvate into carbon dioxide and water happens where? It happens in the mitochondria. That process enter into mitochondria of the cell, and wherein oxygen has been used up. So this is also called as Krebs cycle, wherein pyruvate is broken down into carbon dioxide and water. It is also called as Krebs cycle. So why it's called Krebs cycle means it doesn't happen in a single step. When you go to higher class, you're going to learn about that. It happens in a series of steps. So it will be in the cyclic form. So it's called as Krebs cycle. So what is the final product you're getting? Carbon dioxide and water. And how much of energy is being released? I said you, the energy which is released after respiration will be stored in the form of ATP. So how many molecule of ATP has been synthesized after this step? That is, after breaking one molecule of glucose, finally you are getting synthesized with 38 molecules of ATP. That's the reason I said you, during aerobic respiration, plenty of energy is being released. So more amount of energy has been released during aerobic respiration. Hope you understood aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration is a kind of respiration wherein oxygen has been used up. So where it happens actually is in the mitochondria. The first part of respiration, that is breaking down glucose into pyruvate, happens in cytoplasm, and that's called as glycolysis, wherein one molecule of glucose breaks into 2 molecule of pyruvate, or in the other word you can say 6 carbon compound breaks into 2 molecule of 3 carbon compound. Then what happens to pyruvate? Pyruvate further breaks down into carbon dioxide and water, and that happens in mitochondria by using oxygen. So here oxygen has been used up, and what is the amount of energy you are getting is 38 molecules of ATP. So this is about aerobic respiration. Now let us see about anaerobic respiration. So as the name suggests, anaerobic respiration means respiration happening in the absence of oxygen, and this kind of respiration you can find in yeast cell and in our muscle cells when we do vigorous exercise. So here also the first step is same as you can find in the aerobic respiration, wherein 6 molecule carbon compound, that is glucose, 6 carbon compound called as glucose, is broken down into a 3 carbon compound called as pyruvate. So here also 1 molecule of glucose is breaking down into 2 molecules of pyruvate. So this happens again in the cytoplasm. So this is also called as glycolysis, since breaking down of glucose into pyruvate happens. So it's called as glycolysis as an aerobic respiration. So from here, what happens to the pyruvate next? In the absence of oxygen, right? So anaerobic means it is happening in the absence of oxygen. So this kind of respiration happens in the yeast cell, I said you. So wherein the pyruvate is further broken down to alcohol. So when there is no enough amount of oxygen available, in that cases pyruvate is broken down into 2 carbon compound called as alcohol. So 2 molecules of 2 carbon compound is formed from 1 molecule of glucose. Along with that, you can also see the production of carbon dioxide gas, and finally the amount of energy generated is very much least. That's only 2 molecules of ATP is produced after anaerobic respiration. So what is the main product you are getting here is alcohol and carbon dioxide gas has been produced after aerobic respiration. So this process is also called as fermentation process. So this process happens during the preparation of alcoholic beverages like wine, by baking of bread and all, they use this process. So you know how the alcoholic beverages like wine is prepared. So wherein if you take the example of grape wine, they are using grape juice. So what is happening to the grape juice? You add sugar. Sugar has been added, and in the presence of, by using some yeast, you add some yeast to that. So and you close the container and keep. So when you are closing the container airtight, when you are placing this juice in a airtight container, what you are making sure is there is no entry of oxygen there. So what is the condition? It is in the absence of oxygen. So absence of oxygen. So what's happening to that grape juice to which sugar has been added in the presence of yeast and in the absence of oxygen? It will be converted into alcohol. So this is then called as grape wine, right? So it has been producing alcohol, and you can see the containers filled with carbon dioxide gas. So this complete process is called as fermentation process. So you are trying to ferment the grape juice so that it has been converted into alcohol. So what's happening here is the sugar molecule has been broken down to alcohol. The same thing happens here. The sugar, that is glucose, is finally breaking down into alcohol. So this is called as fermentation process. So you can see fermentation and production of wine, as well as while making some kind of bakery items like breads, buns and all. Again they are using the same process. So when they prepare the dough of the flour, the bread flour, what you are doing is you are adding some yeast to that and you are allowing it to ferment. So what is happening there? The glucose or starch present in that dough will be broken down to produce carbon dioxide and some amount of alcohol. So wherein when you bake this bun or bread, so the carbon dioxide gas which has been trapped inside the dough try to escape out. So when it try to escape out, the carbon dioxide gas, when it escape out, it leaves some air spaces that makes the bread and bun spongy, fluffy, right? So that air spaces is because of the carbon dioxide gas which has been produced after fermentation escape out when you heat it. So the cake or the bun become fluffy. So there also you are using this fermentation process by using the yeast cell. You add some yeast to that dough, so it will be producing carbon dioxide gas. So you can see different field where they use this fermentation process. So this is about the anaerobic respiration, wherein the final product what you are getting is alcohol. And how much is the energy being produced? It's only 2 molecules of ATP. So when you compare it with aerobic respiration, there you can find more amount of energy is being produced, that is you can find 38 molecules of ATP produced there, and here it is only 2 molecules of ATP. So now let us look on to another kind of anaerobic respiration which happens in our muscle cells. So another kind of anaerobic respiration happens in our muscle cells. So usually in our body aerobic respiration happens, in every cell aerobic respiration happens. But in some cases, that is when we do some kind of vigorous exercise, a continuous exercise, what is happening when we are working much profusely, what happens is more and more amount of oxygen is being used up. So when we are doing continuous work, right? If you take the example of you are involving some kind of physical exercise, wherein you are continuously doing the exercise, so more amount of oxygen has been used up so that more amount of energy has been used up to do that kind of work. So for production of more amount of energy, what is needed is oxygen is needed. So more amount of oxygen from your body will be used up in that case, right? So what happens is gradually the amount of oxygen in your body decreases as you do vigorous exercise, continuous exercise or continuous work. The amount of oxygen in your body will be reduced. So where you are actually doing much work. So what are you using? Which part of the body has been used up when you do much work is your muscle cells, right? Your hands and legs will be used up when you do some kind of works. So it's in the hands and the muscles of the hands and legs wherein more oxygen has been used up. So in that cases, what happens is suddenly when more and more amount of oxygen has been used up, the oxygen amount decreases in your muscle cells, and the cells in your muscle cells, instead of undergoing aerobic respiration, it will undergo anaerobic respiration. Why it happens so is because there is a demand for oxygen. There is no much amount of oxygen in your body because you are doing work continuously for a long time. What happens? Oxygen has been reduced in your body. So your muscle cell has to undergo anaerobic respiration since there is no sufficient amount of oxygen. So when your muscle cells undergo anaerobic respiration, in that cases, your glucose molecule will be partially broken down to produce lactic acid instead of producing carbon dioxide. So it will undergo partial breaking down, and the product what you are getting is lactic acid. So it is the product which has been obtained by partial breakdown of glucose molecules. So what happens, suddenly this lactic acid get accumulated in your muscle cells, and when the lactic acid gets accumulated in the muscle cells, the muscles fail to contract. So the contraction does not happen in an easier manner. So it will be you will be feeling a painful contraction of muscles. So that is called as muscular cramps or muscle cramps. So it leads to muscle cramps. So why it is happening? Because of deficiency of oxygen in your muscle cells, wherein it is undergoing anaerobic respiration instead of aerobic respiration. So how can you overcome this? So when you have muscle cramps, what you do is you will go for a hot water bath, or you can use a hot water massage, right? Hot water massage will be done. You can use a hot water bags to massage that area where you got cramps, or simply you can just massage and help in getting relief from the muscle cramps. So when you do so, what is actually happening there is it is improving your blood circulation. When you take a hot water bath or when you're taking hot water bag massage, that area, the blood circulation will be improved. So when the blood circulation is improved, so in that area it is getting enough amount of oxygen. So when it is getting oxygen, then what happens? This lactic acid will be further broken down to produce carbon dioxide and water. So it will undergo complete oxidation of the lactic acid to produce carbon dioxide and water. So when it has been completely broken down, then you get a relief from muscular cramps. So this will be asked in the exam about anaerobic respiration happening in your muscle cells. This happens when it happens in the muscle cells. It's not happening in the mitochondria, it's happening in the muscle cells, and it happens in the absence of oxygen, and the product you are getting is lactic acid. And here also you can see the amount of energy produced is very much less. It's only about 2 molecules of ATP has been generated in your muscle cells. You will not be able to do any work at the time, right? So it's because you are getting only less amount of energy produced during anaerobic respiration. So hope you understood the difference between all the three kind of respiration. Aerobic respiration happening in generally in every cells. The product is carbon dioxide and water. Anaerobic respiration happening in each cell. The product is alcohol and carbon dioxide. And anaerobic respiration which is happening in the muscle tissue, the product formed is lactic acid and 2 molecules of ATP. So this is about the type of respiration which you learned in today's class. So the next class will be just differentiating between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Before I give you differentiation, you can also try for that. So you have understood what is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. You can take out your keynotes and you can just make 2 columns, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. And there you can just write down the points, what are the difference you can find between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So I'll be meeting in the next session. Thank you.